Okay, I'm going to teach you how to uh, edit pretty much any news package. So over here we have all of our B-roll shots. We have a couple of interviews, one with Miss Dell, one with Miss Page. So generally what I do when starting an interview style news package where I know I have a couple different interviews is I'm going to start by finding the portions of the interview that I want and doing any fixing to the overall video before I chop it up. Okay, so first things first, we're going to find our main interview. So let's go to Miss Page and pick out our sound bites. Remember, a sound bite is just a little portion that eventually we're going to voice over around it. So let's find which part we want. Right now I'm using spacebar with my thumb and in and out, I and O, to choose the in portion, that's the in, and the out portion before I drag it down into my timeline. So let's find a good sound bite from her.
Do you know if there's anything being put in?
And I gotta make sure, here we go.
If there's anything being put in place to fix the traffic problem?
So I think personally, the school was built to be more of a walk and roll to school.
Okay, so I like that. Without the, so me personally, ready?
The school
This
was
school.
The school was built to be more of a walk and roll to school, and so that's the whole design of the school. And
So I actually just want that little sentence right there.
the school was built to be more of a walk and roll to school.
I'm gonna take that portion. So I'm gonna drag that in. That's my first sound bite. Okay, looking for another one maybe.
Whole design of the school, and so pretty much because our boundaries are all within 3 miles, we're encouraging
So
students.
maybe the encouraging.
3 miles, we're encouraging students to walk or roll to school, and staff. But yeah, so if everyone could walk and roll, it would really greatly reduce. So if everyone could walk and roll, it would really greatly reduce the traffic, and then we wouldn't have so much of an issue.
Okay, I think that's another good sound bite right there.
But yeah, so if everyone could walk and roll, it would really greatly reduce the traffic.
Okay, so those are our two little sound bites from Miss Page that we're going to use.
So if everyone
Get rid of
could,
the so.
if everyone could walk and roll, it would really greatly reduce the traffic, and then we wouldn't have so much of an issue.
Okay, so we have these two nice little sound bites.
The school was built to be more of a walk and roll to school. If everyone could walk and roll, it would really greatly reduce the traffic, and then we wouldn't have so much of an issue.
Good. And now the other piece that we want to do is make sure that anything we might want to do to this shot, whether that's white balance fixing or audio fixing, do it before you do any more little chop ups. Okay. So I might take this shot, for example, and I might go to the audio and try to make the gain hit up here by -6. Let's take a look at that.
The school was built
So I'm going to increase the volume just a little bit.
to be more of a walk and roll to school.
Okay, one more time.
Was built to be more of a walk
Even it a little bit more. So that's looking like about 6.5.
and roll to school.
Good. And we'll do the same thing to this one. So that's about up 6.5, dragging that one up. Okay, there's other ways to do that. You can always right click on it and say audio gain and just increase the gain that way. So now both of these clips should be the proper volume.
The school was built to be more of a walk and roll to. If everyone could walk and
Oh,
roll,
that
it
one's a little bit loud. Okay,
would really greatly reduce the
good.
traffic.
So now I want to fix a little bit of the color and white balance. Okay, so I'm going to go to my Lumetri color, hit basic corrections. We know that this wall is somewhat white, so I'm going to click on that wall, and that helps it a lot. If I don't have a white wall to click on, I can always just drag these around, and that can help. Another one that's really helpful is this one right here, color wheel, especially on the midtones. As you can see, that can drastically increase or decrease what the skin tones in particular look like. Okay, so there's those two clips. Now let's get maybe let's pretend we needed a student interview. Okay, like you might have on another one. Let's see, student interview. Now I've already watched this, and most of it is really, really, really bad. They say nothing at all. Okay, so toward the end it gets.
You've been late a couple times.
I've been late a couple times, yeah.
You've been late a couple times.
I've been late a couple times, yeah.
So that little section is all I'm going to be able to sneak out of that whole interview, even though it was quite long. I've been late.
I've been late a couple times, yeah.
Okay, that's about all I can do. Now, if you have a clip like this where there's a lot of background noise or it kind of feels like it starts really harshly, watch.
I've been late a couple times, yeah.
And you see how it stops and it's kind of aggressive? You can just roll off the audio with this little gray square and it will just soften the startup and the ending of a clip.
I've been late a couple times, yeah.
See that? Okay, so that might be part of, we might voice over in between and talk about the student experience. Yeah, students are late. Oh, weird, look at this clip. See how it looks in the preview, but then in here it looks a different size. So we need to right click on it and say fit to frame, and now it's the correct size. Okay, so we've got that clip. All right, so we've got a student interview, and we've got a teacher or an adult interview. Okay, I'm going to move these around a little bit. Now we're going to start with our voiceover with B-roll is kind of usually how we want to start. I like to start, I try to make most news packages kind of look like this. Some kind of B-roll series with voiceover with natural sound, and then we cut into our first interview, more B-roll, more voiceovers, another interview, more B-roll, and some kind of voiceover outro. So let's just get a little series of B-roll shots that are going to tell this story. What are we talking about? Okay, so we've got cars and bikes, cars crowded, cars waiting. All these are going to work great. Okay, so we're just going to go pick a little portion of each of these clips with the in and the out function. Okay, there will work. Nice. Okay, pull that in. We've got cars crowded. Let's watch that little section there. Right there, we can go in. That's nice and crowded looking. And out, drag that in. How about cars waiting, another angle of cars. Okay, there's some kids walking. That's more interesting. Got the walking. Okay, drag that in. Maybe... Oh, this is good. We got people walking across the crosswalk. Ooh, bike. I like it. Looks very crowded. Let's get that bike crossing. So I did the in. I'm just hitting spacebar with my thumb and in and out with my other fingers. In and out. Okay, somewhere in that range. I actually kind of want to put that one kind of in the middle. So we kind of go cars, people, cars. Kind of show it, telling a story. Let's watch it so far. See what we got. Got cars and stuff. That one's even a little bit long. Bikes. Good. A little long. Busy cars. Okay, that one looks like it's the wrong size, so let's fit to frame. Good. Crowded with cars. Nice. And then this one, nice, perfect. Okay, this one doesn't seem to have any audio, so sometimes that happens, and you can actually make a news package have a little more consistency sometimes if you use audio from something else to kind of keep the consistent audio. So I'm going to unlink this one because we don't have any audio right there, and we're just going to use the audio from this one or this one and have it continue. Okay, so unlink both of them. I can just drag this audio over, and now it will look like this. That kind of natural sound of cars and stuff is more consistent. Okay, I don't love the person talking in this one, so I might move that clip over a little bit. Maybe move the audio so we don't hear that person talking. Good. Better. Okay. So, let's now figure out if there's any more perfect. Okay, we don't need that. We don't need that. A bike drop off. Ooh, that's good. Let's get this bike drop off. Someone's dropping off their bike. Scooter goes by. Like that. Okay, kids are entering to school. And let's see, what else could we possibly use? Ooh, a student running. Oh, this is good. Oh, they're late to class. And it's a low angle, okay? So that gives some variety to our shots. A student with a bike, okay, dropping off a bike is nice. They're arriving at school, telling the story. even though it's not the same kid, we're going to make it look like this kid dropped off his bike and then ran to class, right? So we got bike, we got another. Okay, let's put this bike right in between these two. This is kind of a handy skill. You can drop a clip in between two clips by holding down Control. So if I click on this clip and I'm trying to drag it in between there, if I hold down Control, you see those arrows that pop up? I can drag it there and it will push everything else over and kind of insert it in between the two clips. Shorten it up, ripple delete. Okay, it's too long. So just drop it off, heading off to class.
I've been late a couple times, yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so then in this little portion, this beginning portion is where we would have the voiceover talking, and then eventually we would go to more B-roll and more voiceover while the teacher talks about the solution. Okay, so it might sound something like this. I'm not actually going to, well, maybe I can. Ready? Let's do a quick little voiceover for you guys. This is one way you can do it. You can actually just record right here. So I'm going to mute this. I'm going to record right here. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Long lines, traffic, leaving early, only to still arrive late. This is a common experience for West Park High School students every morning when they try to go to school. I don't like that voiceover, but you get the idea. Okay, so here we go. Long lines, traffic, leaving early, only to still arrive late. This is a common experience for West Park High School students every morning when they try to go to school. And then this one's going to be I've been late.
I've been late a couple times, yeah.
And then we might go to some more B-roll and talk about, so what we caught up with, principal secretary to find out the solution. Ready? Here we go. Something like this.
I've been late a couple times, yeah.
We caught up with principal secretary Paige Cahill to find out about the solution. Okay, now then we got a little more B-roll here, and then she's going to come jumping in to find out about the solution.
The school was built to be more of a walk and roll to school.
Okay, so now I'm going to teach you what's called a J-cut. A J-cut is when we want to hear our person before we see them. Okay, so I'm going to go find a couple more students walking. Perfect, we got some walking students. Okay, we're going to throw that in there. Maybe some more students walking. Okay, so I'm going to stick those 2 clips in there. That one's still a little bit too long. Okay, there we go. Now, we're going to hear her before we see her. To accomplish that, we are going to have to unlink this audio, okay? And I'm going to get rid of some of this audio right here, okay? And we're going to have her move over so that we can hear her first, okay? Listen.
The school.
Good. So this school. Another way to do this is to have everything, have another track here, so you have some space to work with. Okay. There's actually about 3 different ways you can do this. Okay, is you can have this whole track move over like that, and have it even fade in a little bit. Have this one fade out a little bit so it doesn't just abruptly end.
The school was built.
Okay, the school was built, and then we see her.
The school was built to be more of a walk and roll to school.
So at walk and roll to school, I'm going to want to see something about what she's talking about, right? So that might be actually where we put this clip in. Actually, I might swap that out because that's a walk and roll to school clip. So I put that over what she's talking about. And you want to leave your nat sound, okay? Don't get rid of your nat sound. So don't mute these clips. So let's have this right here.
A walk and roll to school. If everyone could walk and roll, it would.
Okay.
If everyone could walk and roll, it would really greatly reduce the traffic.
Perfect. And then we could put more traffic shots in there. Okay. And then maybe one more little piece of interview. And then again, a voiceover talking about the solution. And then we're going to end with Nat sound. Okay. So I know in her interview, she says something later about like, everybody just needs to enter from Pistachio Park. It's in the back and it's really, really, so she said something about like getting rid of the traffic. Okay. So we'll put that shot in there. Okay. And then eventually we'd get to B-roll, 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 and an outro, okay? So that's pretty much the basics of how to do a news package. Obviously, when her face enters, we want to see lower thirds, okay? 2 places you can get your lower thirds. You can get them from your graphics template location, which you should have already some in there. I have downloaded some from Mixkit. We also have some you can use that are from West Park TV that you can drop in. I don't know why they have audio. It's kind of dumb. So I usually just get rid of the audio. I just unlink it and I delete this audio. But if you drop this right here, now she's got her name, right? So now we just go to our text panel. Okay, and it's going to say, what do you want the name to be? Okay, and I'm going to say Paige Cahill, and then her title is Principals, with an apostrophe, of course, Secretary. Okay, did I spell that right? Secretary? I forget. We're just going to go like this, watch. Principal Secretary. There you go. And then you'll see how that pops in when she talks.
The school was built to be more of a walk and roll to school. If everyone could walk and
Now
roll.
you see how when I added something kind of challenging for the computer to process, it turned red up here, and then you have these yellow bars. To get rid of that, you go to Sequence, Render into Out, and it's going to render all of the more large files and the things that you've done to them, and it will make the whole thing green, and that will make it run faster. If you kind of continuously do this as you edit, it makes the whole process go faster. Okay, now when you do your voiceovers, you're not going to do it with this record button. You're actually going to use your phone or use my microphone and drop in your clips. But it is wise to be watching your videos while you do it so you can kind of time it. Okay, because you want them to kind of go with what you're saying, like long lines, traffic, only arriving late. You want those things to match what it is you're doing. So you can kind of set yourself up for success by timing your voiceover to your B-roll clips, or record the voiceover and then time the B-roll clips to your voice. It really doesn't matter. I'm just going to press cancel because I don't want to wait for that whole thing. You get the idea. It helps the computer run it faster. All right, so there's your basics of a news package. When you're done, you should have Nat sound and then a soft fade out. To do a fade in and a fade out, you just right click, apply defaults. You'll notice it goes from black to fading in. And if this was our last shot, we would fade this out. Okay, while we're talking about our solutions that we want to do. And then you can do a quick export here or export there and save it how it should be saved. There you go.